Have you ever thought about school? I don't mean thinking about assignments or classes. I mean the type of school. There are public and private schools in the world, and I was wondering if private school increases your performance. This is commonly believed, but I've found that it isn't always the case. Evidence doesn't always show that private school increases your performance. A 2006 study showed that 4th through 8th grade students attending public school scored as well or better than their private school peers in reading and mathematics. Nonetheless, it is commonly believed that private school students do better academically, and sometimes they do. A Harvard University study found that private school came out ahead in 11 of 12 student comparisons, and usually private schools do better on standardized tests. Many different factors influence how students perform, regardless of whether they attend public or private school. Going to a private school has advantages and disadvantages, just like most experiences. An advantage of public school is that it is not bound by regulations, and teaching styles can be broader. There is also a very expensive tuition which provides money for the school. This money can then be used to get the best resources for students. Classes at private schools are smaller because there are fewer students. Alumni of Buckingham, Brown and Nichols, a private school in Cambridge, rave about how they got lots of one-on-one time with their teachers. Private school teachers don't have to have certification. This could be considered a pro or a con. Private school also has disadvantages. They're selective, so there's not as much diversity. Most kids attending private school don't live in the town the school is in, so private schools usually don't have a strong town and community connection, though most private schools have a strong internal community. Private schools also aren't always equipped to aid children with special needs, and don't always have people trained to work with these kids. Public school has advantages and disadvantages as well. An advantage of public school is that it is town and community centered. Kids can live in the community and do projects to benefit the community. Public school is also democratic. Some schools even have student councils. Public school is part of a larger school system. Schools can interact with other schools. Often, public school has lots of options for diverse educational experiences. Public school has some disadvantages, though. Sometimes kids don't get as much personal attention because the classes are bigger. There's no tuition for public school, so there's less money to spend on good resources. Some kids even feel anonymous at public school because it can have so many kids in it. But by law, public school must accept all students. There's been an increased number of private schools in recent years. There are about 33,400 in the USA, and about 10% of all students in the U.S. attend private school. Just in Vermont, there are about 124 private schools and 330 public schools. Though there are more public schools now, this statistic could change. More and more parents are switching their child's schooling. In 2009, 1 of 4 parents were considering switching their child from public to private school or from private to public. I think that going to private or public school depends on a lot of things. First, you need to have the money. Attending private school in 2011 cost approximately $21,695 per year. Attending public school costs approximately $13,000 per year, which is paid through taxes by all citizens. That is about $8,000 less than attending private school for a year. Next, it depends on the student. If they want to go to a private school because it will better fit their needs, they need to go through a lot of processes to be enrolled. There are multiple interviews, essays, and testing that you must undergo. After this, you might not even be accepted. Lastly, it depends on the parent's choice. Going to a private school may be a big deal for some families, and they would have to adjust. There are also different kinds of private schools to choose from. There are athletic private schools, religious, academic, college prep, boarding, and a few others. Peter K. Gunnis, 23-year headmaster of Buckingham, Brown and Nichols College Prep Private School, also agrees that the decision of public or private school depends on the situation. Mr. Gunnis had a big impact on Buckingham, Brown and Nichols. Before he became headmaster, it was 2 schools. Buckingham was a girls' school and Brown and Nichols was a boys' school. Mr. Gunnis merged the two and created what is known today as Buckingham Browne and Nichols Co-ed School in Cambridge, Massachusetts. Mr. Gunnis attended a public school himself and greatly enjoyed his time spent at Fargo High School in North Dakota. He also loved his time spent as headmaster and said he had mostly good experiences. Mr. Gunnis has 3 children, all of whom attended Buckingham Browne and Nichols. Earlier this year, I was considering switching to an athletic private school. I Nordic ski race and thought that I might learn more at a private school. This speech changed my mind. As I was researching and writing, I was able to analyze this school, Harwood, and the private school, GMVS. I realized that each would be a different experience, but I would get a first-rate education at each. I decided to stay at Harwood. I feel that I will get an excellent education at Harwood and still be able to pursue my athletic career. What I'm trying to get across in this speech is that there is no simple answer to the question of which is better, public or private school. There are positive aspects and negative aspects of both public and private school. My mom, Kate Gunnis, attended private school. My dad, Rob Williams, attended public school. Kate and Rob both ended up going to Princeton University. Neither public nor private school limits you, but if you make the right choice for you, they both give you the education you need. I challenge each of you to go home tonight and think about your education. Do you think you're in a school best suited to your abilities? School is a big part of your life. You only get to go once, and you should make it count.